Hey guys, what's up? Trisha Hershberger here, and welcome to The Naked Truth. And yes, this is my new camera setup. Thank you for noticing. Thank you to our Naked Army vloggers from last week. That's Kavaja, Dominic, Christopher, Richard, Colin, Lawrence, Cheryl, Jenny, James, Prescott, and Kristen. If you want to check out their vlogs from last week on April Fools, all the funny business and stuff, you can do that by clicking their links in the description below. So this week, I wanted to talk about all the monies. I was having a conversation with a producer friend of mine who also works in the YouTube space, and whenever producers are talking, it's all about that bottom line, baby, because that's what we do. That's what gets us more jobs. And since I've moved into producing in the last year, it's really made me think about YouTube as a business. Not that I didn't before, but really made me have an emphasis on that. And we were talking about how the industry is changing, or we're wondering if it's changing. And a lot of people don't realize that are viewers. A lot of people don't realize how hard it is to make money making YouTube content. And for those of you in the Naked Army or other people who are starting out with their channels, the AdSense revenue is a lot less than you think it's going to be. Even for this channel, which I'm like, yay, I got my YouTube play button plaque. I'm over 100,000 subscribers. Still, the money that I get off of my AdSense revenue is nowhere near enough to live off of. It's not even enough to eat off of for the entire month, let alone pay rent and any other bills you might have, let alone have a budget to produce more cool videos or upgrade cool videos. So unfortunately, a lot of YouTubers, unless you're lucky enough to have been born into a situation where you have a trust fund or you're taken care of in some other way, it's very hard for people if you're, struggling with the financial aspect. So we were talking about, if you want to make cooler stuff, how do you get the budget to make the cooler stuff that you're really passionate about creating? And we were talking about the two main ways to do this, which are sponsorships and brand deals in your videos versus fan funding. So sponsorships could be anything from a 15-second, this video is brought to you by blah, 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 to I'm doing this cool thing I'd normally do, but I happen to be holding this frosty beverage of brand A, to I'm creating an entire series around this brand, like Super Gamer Build is with PlayStation. So there's a lot of different ways that those can be incorporated. And then there's fan funding, which, yes, there's a fan funding button on YouTube where you can support creators directly. But there's also things like Patreon, which a lot of creators that I really respect have been able to continue making content on because they have a Patreon and their viewers support them. And that's awesome too. And for me, as a viewer, when I'm watching content that I want to watch, I prefer to watch brand deal or sponsored content rather than giving my own money. A, because I don't have a lot of money. B, I'm used to YouTube being free, and maybe that's something that I need to change. And also, C, I feel like if they're able to get these brand deal sponsorships and brands are enabling them to make cooler content, A, I want to watch that cooler content, and B, it doesn't bug me that they say, the 15-second or 30-second ad, or again, if they're like getting to go somewhere because of it or something like that, that doesn't bug me as a viewer. I would probably feel more bugged if every episode I was like, and remember to pay us money in the episode, because that just feels so, I don't know, it's so weird to me. But then again, as a creator, I'm torn because I see lots of creators that I respect doing really well with this. Like, when game trailers got shut down and that was awful, they were able to rise back up and they're doing really well now thanks to Patreon. Same thing with Kind of Funny Vids. Those guys are fantastic. Or Anthony Carbone's We Have Concerns podcast. I mean, there's a plethora of different things. Or, Lee and Elliot's little podcast. That's on Patreon too. You should maybe go support it. See, I have no money. I have no problems asking for money for my friends. I just feel really awkward ever saying that for myself. So when I think of it as a business, I think, well, I would rather ask other businesses to help support my business than I would rather ask my friends, which is what I consider what I do here on this channel. Is mostly I'm just talking to my friends, especially with Naked Truth. That feels more awkward to me, but maybe I just need to flip and get with the times. And this is what we were talking about in our conversation. Because I know there's a huge group of people online who feel like anytime they see any kind of brand deal or sponsorship, they're like, sell out, I'm being lied to, I'm very adverse to this. And those people would rather put their own money towards something to know that there's no grubby is what I meant to say. Greedy and grubby became greeby, so I'm going to stick with it. Greedy corporate hands in the mix. And that's what they would prefer. And it's almost like the YouTube Red versus original YouTube viewing methods. And so I don't know. So my question for you guys this week is, I guess we're going to poll the audience. Maybe I'll put up a Twitter poll too. which do you prefer? Do you prefer companies supporting creators, or do you prefer viewers supporting creators? Or maybe both, or maybe neither. And let me know your thoughts. I would love to see those either in a Naked Truth vlog of your very own, which if you are going to make a Naked Truth, please do it from the shoulders up only. If you're under 18, make sure you ask your parents' permission so they don't think there's anything crazy going on. And you can send it to me using the For Business Inquiries link in the About section of this channel. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, the answer is to, try to reach out to other companies and get the support that way, and then make sure that I always disclose, of course, to my viewers, like, hey guys, this is a piece of sponsored content, or hey guys, thank you for this, or I'll always put a thing in the description that either says this is sponsored content or this is not sponsored content. And I would also never work with any brands that are untrue to my brand or to my community. Like, I wouldn't cover what's a good example? I probably wouldn't cover a baby monitor or a dish detergent or something like that on this channel. I don't know, maybe there would be a reason to cover a dish detergent at some point, or maybe way in the future when I'm a mom, cover something like that. I don't know, but I don't know. I won't work with brands that just don't feel right for the channel. And that's how it makes sense to me. But again, I know that I might be old fashioned. That's like the traditional way of doing it. So what do you guys think? Please let me know. And continue to suggest Naked Truth topic suggestions, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.